And we are loading, and it's loading, it's loading. It's weird how this takes forever, but we're already out there. All right, so we are now live. So I'm going to go ahead and share this a couple of times, and we'll be ready to kick it off in the high gear.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Alrighty. And we're ready to rock. So, close all of this crap. All right, how's it going, everyone? This is Jared with the Digital Battlefield Podcast, and today we're going to be talking with Travis Arnold about his digital diagnosis. Our digital diagnosis is where we spend 2 hours executing a discovery phase, and we try to identify problems, come up with solutions, and help our guests think outside the box. This will be explicit, so if you can't handle that, goodbye. Otherwise, we will kick it off. So, Travis, how's it going today, man?
It's going fantastic. Thank you, Jared.
My son looked over at me like I was calling him. His name's Travis, too. Nice. So, why don't you give us a little 30-second intro about who you are and what you do? We'll go from there.
Sounds good. Travis Arnold. I'm owner-founder of Caisson Shaving Company. Created just a couple months ago, 3 months ago on June 15th, which also coincides with the Army's birthday.
Nice.
With that, go Army, beat Navy. I was a 12-year Army veteran. Primarily spent most of the time in field artillery. I did everything from cannon crew member, fire direction control, counter mortar, counter artillery, radar systems,
Nice.
and then finished up as military police. Simultaneously with that, I ended up getting picked up with the sheriff's office down in southern Arizona. So in total, I did 12 years, 10 years as a cop. And then 2 years ago, I moved out here to Orange County, California, where I'm at now.
Nice. Yeah, dude, I know exactly how those Arty guys are. I spent 2 years in an Arty unit doing supplies, so definitely been there before. Yeah, 1908s, 777s, what's up?
Yeah, 777s to start, 109 Alpha 6s.
Yeah, it's crazy shit. Awesome. So right off the gate, dude, what brought you in?
I think through just the mutual connections. I would like to say that maybe out of anybody, I might be actually on the best path right now with it. But I'm also recognizing, I'm 3 months as an entrepreneur right now. I'm brand new at this.
Okay.
So even if the world was burning all around me and there was like this huge pandemic or something, I wouldn't even know what was going on.
Right.
So maybe, just taking this time to, make sure that I'm checking all my boxes and dotting all my I's would be good.
Awesome, man. So I guess we'll just start at square one and go from there then. So, excuse me. So the first thing that you want to do in business naturally is business plan. So we're going to skip all that stuff because I can't help you do that. So no point in starting with that. But once you get past market share, market research, business plan, financial plans and all that stuff, and you start actually working on the business, you want to start looking at your branding. So you already have a logo. I can see it there shining on your shirt. So look, who is your target audience and what problem do they have? Well, who's your target audience? Start there.
My target audience is everybody except for you. And maybe Zach Galifianakis.
Okay. Represent.
So the people they keep their faces, or have to keep their faces nice and clean.
Okay.
I did, I think, what most veterans did when I got out of the military, and I grew an epic beard. I'm fortunate that I can. My wife doesn't agree with it, but I hated shaving. I never wanted to shave again. And a lot, I think, had to do with the time in the military. And when you go out into the field, you have to dry shave.
Yeah,
and
that sucks.
It sucks.
Sucks real bad.
Well, That's right there. You brought it up. I mean, it sucks. Everybody that's spent time in the military knows that it sucks. There's a pain point, and that's what I looked at right there in building up a company, is that I wanted to be able to address a pain point, and a pain point that I could associate with, and that I could use my background to develop a company around and create a ethos around, what I've already experienced. So that was the perfect thing, is that pain point of shaving sucks.
Yeah. Okay. And so is that going to be, does that mean that your audience is anyone who needs a shave?
Yes.
Okay. Does that cover male and female?
Yeah. So I mean, I know male best because I am one, and
No.
I identify one, even though I'm in California.
Yeah.
Things might be a little fluid out here, but no, I'm still.
Got it.
You get the point.
Yeah.
So yeah, for right now, I've gone strictly down the male-oriented route,
Okay.
but at the same time, my wife has been victim to my product testing, and it works just as well for females. It's just the scent profiles haven't been developed necessarily for them. So yes, eventually will females be swept under this? Sure.
Okay.
But for right now, I think, and as it is, the females out in the field don't really need to shave. They're not having the beard or things like that. So the
Right.
tactical use for the soap is less practical for them.
Right. Okay. So is that all that you have is soap? Is that your primary product, I guess is what my question is.
That's what I'm manufacturing right now.
Okay.
And that's kind of my building block. It's going to be centered around the soap. And
can you explain what the soap is for anyone who might not know?
Yeah, so I think anybody that's shaved at this point, they're familiar with our modern products, the shaving foams, gels, or creams.
Yeah.
What a shaving soap is the hard style puck, like you would have almost as a bar soap, but it's been formulated to create a slick, create a barrier between your skin and the razor that's going to be cutting the hairs on it. So it's specifically designed and formulated for shaving specifically.
Okay. So basically you just rub it on like soap on your face and then just shave.
Well, kind of. It's going to come in a metal tin like this, which is definitely a purpose designed purposely.
Shaped like a dip can.
yeah, absolutely. But it's in this can because soap can melt. I mean, this soap's melting point is at about 140 degrees. But you know what? There might be a Humvee in Iraq that'll get up to that temperature, absolutely. So I wanted to at least make sure that it's in a leak-proof container. That way, if it does melt, it's not going to leak all over a rucksack.
Is it heat resistant?
Yeah, very heat resistant. But inside of the can will be the soap, and it's formed inside.
Okay.
So if you're at home using this in a traditional sense, you would use that Badger brush, the old school shaving brush, and you would work up a lather with it. If you're out in the field, you're not going to want to bring a brush with you. I mean, unless you're, a snooty officer that can do that in the comfort of their tent. But for, a grunt, you can just add a little bit of water into this can and lather it up with your hands and then just apply that to your face. It'll give you the good slick, and it cleans up nice and easy.
Awesome. So that's going to be that nice, silky, baby smooth bottom shave every time if you use that?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's pretty sweet. Okay.
So, and with the formulation of the product, it's good for anybody, but especially for those. I had terrible issues with the razor bumps, razor burns. I tried to push for a shaving profile. I never got it, but having switched to this and using like a double-edged safety razor instead of those terrible cartridge razors, my face is cleared up with it. My neck is.
What you're talking about, like one of those like Harry's or something like that, the fancier ones?
Similar. I know that Harry's has some of the single blade systems, but I use like more like the old school, like the King Gillette, where it's got the double edge.
Got it. Okay.
Replacement blades.
So it's
And there's a
traditional
lot of people that
shaving
will,
with a high-tech cream to go with it.
yeah, it's old
Okay.
school methodology redefined and, made better through tech. Yeah.
Awesome. So how are you bringing clients in right now?
Right now it's direct to consumer through through Facebook, through the website, through social media.
Okay.
Because of coronavirus, I mean, I can't really go and do any traditional door-to-door marketing, going to barber shops or,
Yeah.
a lot of the traditional business development routes are closed right now. So
Right.
Everything has been online.
Okay. And I guess what I'm looking at is, how are you speaking to the customers online and convincing them to buy from you?
Yeah, that's I mean, probably where I can use the biggest help with it, because I'm not a social media person. I don't know marketing. I don't know how to run Facebook ad campaigns.
Okay.
If I did do, and I've done a little bit to boost some of the likes to my page.
Right.
But really, I feel like I've just been throwing money at Facebook and definitely not seeing any positive return on investment with it.
That's normally how the boost works in general. It's just to get us just kind of like throwing it up against the wall and seeing what happens. Because that's what the boost does on Facebook. But the actual advertising, you can get hyper specific and target people quite well with that. So, yeah, I mean, with you having an e-commerce store, it's definitely going to be in your benefit to run ads. You're going to want to do actual campaigns where you plan out and strategize and basically figure out how you're going to attack that, right? And that's going to be huge for you, but it's also going to come with some organic stuff through social media. So ads are a whole new beast. They really are. There's two pieces of ads that are really important. The first part is the targeting. The second part is the copy. And then the third part, which is a big factor, is your budget, right? So if you're trying to sell $1,000 worth in the next 7 days, you can't have a budget of $100 for the whole week, right? And so that's the kind of thing you're going to want to keep in mind before you start running ads, because you do need to have a decent budget to do anything. But also with like social media advertising, you're going to have, like Google advertising as well. And that type of advertising you can run a little significantly cheaper, I would say, instead of, it's not as targeted. It's not hyper specific on who you're trying to reach out to, but at the same time, it's more of a general long-term type of ad. So what I've always done is just run like $30 to $50 a month on Google, and then pump the money into Facebook, because there's so much more capability within Facebook than Google, which is crazy to even think of, but there really is. And the tools that paint a picture on what your audience is doing, all of the analytics behind the scenes, they're insanely good for Facebook. So you're definitely going to want to talk to somebody about ads, and then I can link you up afterwards and put that together and get that ball rolling. And in terms of social media posting, there's a whole lot of stuff that you can do, right? You can do Facebook Lives. You can do memes and pictures and shared links to other articles out there that are relevant. But the one thing, or the two highest generating type of posts, are videos / Facebook Live, and the thought-provoking type of stuff. The type of stuff that just people can't just scroll past it and just keep going. Like, they have to stop. They have to say something. That type of stuff builds engagement, which brings more people in, which allows you, when you do your advertising, to target those people even more. So you're definitely going to want to work out a strategy on how to do that. It's it's not a small thing to work out the strategy and write all the content, but actually scheduling the content is fairly simple. So that is pretty much how that goes down. In terms of social media posting as well, I don't specialize in it. I know the backbone behind it, but I don't specialize in it, so I don't try to get too deep in it. I mean, there's a shit ton of shit for social media, and quite frankly, like Gary Vee is a master at it. There's two things that you can look at for content for social media. Both of them are by Gary Vee. One of them is 30 pieces of content from one video. So he'll do a speaking event and he'll kick out 30 pieces of content for that. And that's like the ultimate repurposing methodology. And the other one is pretty much his basic content model that you can get. And he puts it all out there. I know one of them is on LinkedIn. I don't just basically Google Gary Vee content model, and you'll find both of them. One of them's 30 pieces of content from a video, and the other one's talking about 60 pieces of content for your customers to interact. So the whole premise behind that is to just flood the gates with content from every angle. And when you do that, you want to do it from multiple social media channels. So right now, how many social media platforms are you on?
Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. I haven't done Twitter.
Okay.
So I think Twitter might be the major one that I'm missing.
It's hard to say if it's major. If you're going to be targeting, like if you're going to be hyper specific on like veterans and field operations type shaving as well, then Twitter might not be the place for that. But if you're going to be targeting businessmen, right, CEOs, executives, managers, then it probably could be the place for that as well. Maybe you want to target the 20-year-old who has those bumps like you did and just can't get away from them. Just stop shaving. He looks like me all of a sudden. Maybe that's the secret sauce that brings him back to shaving again. So you have to look at all of these different types of audiences that you have and go to where they are. So just those were 3 different opportunities or 3 different types of customers that are probably in 3 different places, right? So the fact that you're on LinkedIn is really good because you can really market to the suits, the business people and stuff like that, right? So, a lot of veterans are probably just on Instagram, Facebook. So that's the start, but also the younger generation is going to be more spread out. TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, those types of things. And so you also want to probably tie in YouTube for any videos that you make sure they're thrown out on YouTube as well. And then from there, the thing that you want to look at the most is what is your marketing plan and goals, right? So realistically, with your company name sounding exactly like a battle in Vietnam, Saigon, you could probably take a really untraditional marketing methodology to try to captivate the audience. And what I mean by that is something along the lines of Grunt Style and Dollar Beard Club might be the area that you want to go into for making videos and stuff like that, right? So you could take what Dollar Beard Club does and then do the opposite with shaving. You can do all kinds of stuff in that. And so basically you guys could piggyback off of each other, so to speak, in terms of content.
You're talking about Dollar Shave Club?
Dollar Beard Club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this guy he looks like a Viking. And the last one that I saw of him, he was like, it's just, he's got a lot of comedic shit happening for the Dollar Beard Club. So find your area between that and maybe like half a Grunt Style And that'd be a nice little sector for you because I don't know anyone in the shaving realm doing content like that. Right. So you could even take it a step further. I mean, with the old style of shaving that you're talking about, the traditional shaving, you might even be able to bring in people who could look the part and basically be part of commercials and stuff like that. The reason I say that is because I'm thinking Donald Dotson and the way he looks and the type of apparel that he wears. He's an older guy. He's got a beard. He makes shit out of leather. So I could see him being like the barber doing, the old style. They had the belt and you have to like go back and
The
forth
strap.
and stuff. Yeah.
The other strap. Yeah.
I could see him doing that in like a video, so it's more about figuring out a way to be creative and how you're going to approach captivating the audience, because videos are going to speak significantly louder than words every time, all the time. Yeah, dude. I mean, the possibilities are endless when you start talking videos and comedy and advertising all along that spectrum. You could pretty much do anything. And if you ever have an idea for some shit, fucking call me. I'll tell you it's stupid, or I'll tell you it's fucking awesome. Like, I don't have no problem with that. But yeah, dude, we could talk for hours about advertising capability and opportunity and shit like that. So because of that, I'm trying to keep trucking along. So for audience, you have people who are looking to shave. So let's take one customer type, right? Let's say you have like a business executive, and his problem is going to be something along the lines of, I have to shave every day to be presentable so that I can sell shit, right? So then how do you tell that guy that your product is the best thing on the market?
How long has it been since you bought a razor?
A long time. I have one. I buy cartridges like once a year.
How much do you pay for the cartridge on average? $5-6?
Maybe. I use Gillette, so I've shaved twice in the past 2.5 years.
Okay. But I mean, the $5-6 is the point that I'm trying to get at here with it.
Right.
You're supposed to be changing out your blades about every 5 shaves. That's about the maximum that you're going to want to go. And I know nobody does it. They push those things out way too long, but that's when you start getting that tugging and the irritation and everything like that. So if you're shaving right and you're only using the 5 shaves maximum, you're going through a blade a week. That's $5 a week. That's, pushing up into $250 a year that you're spending on just the cartridges.
Yeah.
You add on top of that the shaving gels or whatever they are, they're expensive. Yeah. And they don't last very long. You might be able to get 2 months out of it if you're shaving every single day.
Yeah.
So for that, you got companies that are coming along offering monthly subscription services so that they could just keep sending you stuff because you need it that much. You're pissing away money at that point, though.
Okay.
You switch to a double-edged razor, and every time you switch out your blade, it's costing you pennies. You're getting a closer shave. You're also helping them save the environment a bit. You throw away a cartridge, you've got plastic waste on that. There's no way that it can be recycled with it. So you end up having about 2 billion cartridges that are ending up in landfills every single year.
Okay.
So you can save time, you can save money, and you can help save the environment by switching to a traditional style of shaving.
Okay. So how many razors are you selling right now?
How many razors am I selling?
Yeah.
It's about half of all of my sales will have a razor upsale into it.
Okay. So the fact that you actually have that is definitely a good thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people would say, "Oh, well, I have this product, but I don't have the other piece that goes with it."
Yeah, I think we talked at the beginning. The shaving soap is the base for everything that I'm doing.
Got it.
But having everything, and much like you brought up grunt style. Grunt started being, Daniel Eller started slinging T-shirts out of the back of his van.
Yeah.
I'm essentially slinging shave soap right now, but I'm also looking at how I can start to build this up into more of a lifestyle or a whole entire
Okay.
umbrella of things with it. So yeah, I'd like to be able to see where, somebody associates military and shaving equals Caisson Shaving Company, much as,
right,
military T-shirts or apparel equals grunt style.
Have you looked into selling at the PX and the BX?
Yeah. Good thing is it's easy to do business with them as a veteran-owned business. The bad thing, coronavirus. So they all have been awesome. They're like, this is great. We really look forward to doing business with you, but we can't do business with you right now because of coronavirus.
Don't they have a website?
Yeah, it's doing kind of like the drop shipping online thing. Not going to be working out for me quite yet.
No. The PXBX,
mm-hmm.
They have a website, right?
Yeah.
Don't they?
Where you can do online sales?
Right, where they do online sales.
Yeah, but it's actually set up through drop shipping.
Okay, so you have to drop ship everything?
Yep.
Okay, and you said that would be a problem for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's not where you can just sign up for it for free. They charge you, for the initial setup with it, and then just right now, it's not where I'd want to spend my attention and focus on it. Making an investment into them is difficult.
Okay, so they're trying to act like Amazon, even though they're not.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't put money in that either.
Well, and that's the thing is,
not right now at least.
Why would I try to do that when, the other thing is Amazon is that market that I really would like to push into too as well. I mean, so I was fortunate enough that I was just selected into their military entrepreneur program through Amazon.
Okay.
So it should be January 1st that I'll be launching on Amazon.
Okay. And they're still going to be charging you the monthly merchant fees, right?
Yeah, $39.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it sucks to have to pay money just to be able to sell, but the opportunity there is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a great thing. What kind of volume what kind of volume is your capability for production?
So I still work full time. I work as a defense contractor. I work with rugged electronics, computers. So even just doing this part time, after I hang up the hat with MilDef, I can still do about 12,000 cans a month myself.
Okay.
And that's home base type of a setup with it. So
what's the lead time and volume per run, per batch?
Lead time would be about 2 weeks for 12,000 cans.
Okay. So you probably could squeeze in 24,000, but it would be kind of a tight fit.
Yeah, I would probably have to quit MilDef at that point, but we'll see how it goes. I think just structurally, I would be changing things quite a bit once I get anything past that 10,000 mark. I'm not going to be home based anymore. I'm going to, get my commercial property with it, and I'm going to have full.
The reason why I asked this is because if you're looking to get into basically every PX and BX, that's a serious amount of volume. If at any point you're going to be looking to get into Walmart, Target, or any type of superstore like that, that's a serious amount of volume. And so if you can only handle 10, 12K a month, that would be a problem. So you'll probably end up having to outsource a lot of that.
Overflow manufacturing.
Yeah. And so do you have someone at least identified to be able to do that capability?
Yep. Yeah, that's taken care
of. Awesome. So what is the next step for you then? It sounds like you've got most of the preparatory stuff kind of worked out on your end. So what are you looking at?
You know, I like I said, I'm new to all of this. A lot of this is scary. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, you start talking about, you know, investors and series and these terms that I just don't understand. You start hearing some of the big business, and I was just like, I don't know what to do with any of this. You know, I like making my saving soap, and I like, you know, talking to people, and I do that really, really well. So honestly, right now, what's next is I'm going to continue to network. I
Okay.
like being able to know that I've got somebody, you know, in my Rolodex that can answer the question that I'm not going to know, because those questions are going to come up. And so, you know, even just like this, the meeting with you here,
Mhm.
it sounds like you could definitely be a link to a lot of the different questions that I'm going to have. And so that's what my big focus is on right now, is continuing to network and
Right.
start building up meaningful relationships with it.
Okay.
Yeah, things are probably going to be going really well. I hope they do, knock on wood.
Right.
But I also think that maintaining good business contacts and relationships all the way through is going to be helpful. I'm hoping that whatever success that I do have is something that I can help to roll down to future veteran entrepreneurs. I'm hoping that, you know, maybe 5 years down the road, as you're doing your digital diagnosis on, you know, Johnny Be Good, and you can say, you know, I remember when Travis Arnold was on the show. You know what? Let me give Travis a call right now. That's what I like to be able to see. So right now, my focus is, you know, jumping into this entrepreneurial
Mhm.
community. It's a good community, thankfully. So
Yeah. So have you considered doing Shark Tank?
yeah, I sent in my application for them, and I don't think they're doing filming with it yet. I
Okay.
would. I had an interesting conversation with it, because the last thing I would want to do right now is dilute the company at all.
Well, the
Uh,
reason that I brought that up is because you fit the bill for a lot of their entrepreneurs where you've created a product and you're still in the early stages, but they can skyrocket the shit out of your company. And
yeah, no, and
I
that's
bring that up.
yeah, it's I'm not opposed to it, and if they give me a call, you know, within these next couple of weeks and say, Travis, do you want to be on the show? Absolutely. I actually did put in for the veteran Shark Tank program, so they got
Nice.
a veteran specific Shark Tank. It's,
Okay.
you know, it's not going to be
Same
you know,
magnitude.
Damon John or Mark Cuban on it, but they have very successful veteran entrepreneurs that will sit on the panel and judge it. A contact that I made was on it about 2 years ago, and it was an
Okay.
amazing networking experience and great
Okay.
lesson learned. And I think they ended up walking around with like 10K in their pocket, because, you know, that was the final prize for it. So something like that, absolutely. But yeah.
Okay. So what's on the horizon for you outside of obviously learning social media?
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
in
that's like
90 days, like by the end of the year, what's your goal?
by the end of this year,
Yeah.
it's going to be where I'm at my full scale manufacturing. I'm
Okay.
hitting my 12,000 cans a month.
Okay.
I've got, you know, 12 to 24,000 units ready to hit into the Amazon distribution center
Okay.
and start hitting my Amazon presence, and then immediately start looking into the PX programs, because they'll open back up
Okay.
Q1 of next year.
And where are you at now?
And that's the thing. I'm scaling. I'm bootstrapping it up. So I'm doing a couple
Well,
hundred
like
cans at a time.
you're manufacturing a couple hundred cans at a time?
Yep.
Okay. And then what are your that's each month? Does that still take 2 weeks?
No, it's yeah, about every 2 weeks I do about 300-400 cans.
Okay. And right now, are you doing that volume because you're selling out of that product?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're selling a couple hundred cans. So you're averaging like 100 to 150 cans a week.
Yeah, that'd be a good estimate.
Okay. And all of that is done through, you said, through just networking and knowing people and just putting it out there.
Yes, it's been hustling on social media for 95% of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's been another 5% of it where it's calling up barbershop distributors or, veteran-owned barbershops and say, hey, I'm Travis. This is what I've got,
Right.
And
Are there any barbershop chains? I'm going to go with no, but there might be.
There are. Oh, yeah. There have sports clips and things like that.
Okay.
It could happen. State by state, it's difficult. The old schools.
If you got into the whole franchise, though, couldn't you work at that angle?
Yeah, it definitely could. It's just like it's state by state right now. Barbershops, most of them are open. California, they're all closed right now, so it's
right.
tough. I've been having to try to go and cross state lines with it. Arizona is difficult because they're extremely restrictive. The state board for Arizona on what products can be used or things like that. Texas has been great. That's probably where I've had my biggest amount of traction in, but it's also a very pro-military state, obviously, with all of its military presence there. But if somebody knows a lead into some buyers at a chain, because they'll throw the pomades and they'll throw a lot of the other products in there,
right?
But that might be a great addition into it, is some of the shaving products.
Right. Who's Paul Mitchell, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Because for stuff like that, if you could get into a place like that, that would be quite profound. Because you could basically sell to every one of them, be on their short list of products and stuff like that. So that something like that would be good for you. Getting in's the fun part, though. There's a guy in the tribe who works with a lot of franchises, so I can link up with him and see if he.
Are you talking about Jason?
No,
okay.
Joel.
Okay.
Yeah, so Joel works with franchises quite a bit, so I was going to check in with him and see if he has anything within his network that does barbershops or hair or anything like that. So might be able to find an end through that angle. Definitely something to look into. For getting into like superstores and stuff like that, I actually did research like 6 months ago on every superstore in the United States, and like the top 10 have over 1,000 stores. Not even the top 10. It's like the top like 5 or 6 have over 1,000 stores, and everyone else is under that. But there's only like 25 stores that you really need to get into to dominate the entire country for your product. So you definitely want to link up with someone who has done that before and who can get you into that. I know I've talked to Stephen Kuhn about this, and he's had some success doing that before, getting into Walmart and Target. So quite frankly, if you can talk to him and get something worked out where he can get you into these superstores, then that might be the point where you get to only focus on making product. Because a lot of these companies that are into these superstores and stuff like that, they actually don't do any B2C sales, right? A lot of them they don't have like an online store on their website where they sell on their website. A lot of them just sell directly to the superstores, and then the superstores distribute it that way. So something like that would probably be pretty good for you if you can get to that level.
Right.
I don't know with your product if you would be able to sustain doing just that, because it's such a small item, and I suspect it's like $5 about for the product.
$15.
15?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So it's still the size of a dip can. So this Rubik's Cube is bigger than than that box, but still, uh, maintaining a store on your website is definitely going to be a positive thing for you, especially for the significant foreseeable future.
You know, and I agree. The one thing that I was looking at, and I'll bounce this off of you, is
okay.
You mentioned Dollar Beard Club. I'm more familiar with my competitor Dollar Shave Club,
Right.
and they just recently had a big political snafu, and I've had a lot of attention and interest because of that. You know, being very pro-military, pro-law enforcement, it's caused some attention. So I'm now looking at how do I fill a void with that. You know,
right.
Being that I'm a soap manufacturer, I'm now having to look outside of it and see, people like these monthly subscription type systems. They're
That's
they're
actually
everywhere.
where I was going.
Yeah. I reached out to Bespoke Post and they never reached back to them, so I guess they're lost. But I think that's where I'm going to have to go next with it is actually looking at, some type of a subscription system, because what's good is, the competitor sends you a couple of blades a month and they charge like $16 a month, and you get a couple of blades, some shave butter that I can't read the ingredients on, and that's it. You spend $150 a year on this subscription, where I can get you top of the line double-edged razor, a pack of 100 razor blades that will last you an entire year of daily shaving, and 2 cans of shaving soap for about $80.
How fast do you run out of that soap?
This one can will last you about 6 months.
If you shave daily?
Daily, yeah.
Is that from like the neckline all the way up, or is that just like right here?
No, that's everything. When I started doing my research and development with it, my first couple cans, and I have to explain how abusive I've been on these cans. Mm-hmm. But I will lather these things up, and my entire family, my wife, my 2 kids, I would say my dogs, but then that would be animal testing, so I don't do animal testing. But everybody that I can find, I've been making sure that there's no allergic reactions. So I've abused the hell out of my first original cans that have been now for about 5 months, and I just ran out.
Okay.
So yeah, with normal shaving, my first customers that bought a can, beginning of June, I check in with them, and he's like, yeah, I barely used a quarter of the can at this point. And he's active duty military, shaving every single day, and he's hardly, made it a quarter of the way through.
Well, damn. So, yeah, that's gonna be good. I would actually wonder if you could go a little higher. So just the 2 cans alone is $30, and then the razors, enough razors for a year. I would suspect that would be at least $100. So maybe go somewhere in the middle, do like 100 or 125 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I would even throw in some extra goodies with that, like a T-shirt or some kind of bag. Just something to be remembered by. But the big thing with the subscriptions is that you're mailing it out monthly, so they keep remembering and seeing you, right? That's going to be a big part of it, because if you just send out a year's supply and then disappear for a year, when it comes time to pay again, they might not remember you. So that definitely changes the dynamic in how you actually ship out product, because you could just ship it out the one time a year, but at the same time, you still have to stay in front of them for the whole year to keep them engaged and maintain their attention. Yeah, man.
Yeah, just wheels are turning right now.
Yeah, dude. That's the realism of a subscription box. Even if you were to ship out, maybe you could do like every 6 months, because 1 can lasts 6 months. Even that would be better than once a year.
Right.
But you still want to make sure you're communicating with them at a minimum of quarterly. Monthly is ideal. Weekly is even better. Dailies on point.
One thing I was thinking is, how maybe to utilize add-on type of a benefit to it. You buy the base box with it that's going to last you the year, but maybe you want to add in some aftershaves that are delivered on a monthly basis, or you want to add in X gadget or Y trinket or whatever it could be, and keep the engagement that way.
That's definitely doable. A lot of people focus on building the perfect monthly box, right? And your perfect box is already once a year. So that's where everything's going to definitely take a toll in it. But you definitely want to look at all the other products that you could sell as a bundle with it, right? Just like you were saying, the aftershave and stuff like that. Maybe even have some custom hand towels or towels to go with it, right?
Yeah.
There's so much shit you can do. You're already throwing in the razors and the blades, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the razor, the blades, the cream,
the razors, towels. The razors, the blades, the soap, the brush, and a stand to hold all of it.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. So then maybe throw in like a set of towels on top of that. I don't know.
With my logo stitched into them.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe like a black towel with the white logo, like your shirt there. Mm-hmm. So that'll look real nice in a man's bathroom. Maybe even have while you're looking at the boxes, maybe even do you could probably build out a ladies kit as well, and then just do theirs monthly for now, because that way it's a higher volume. But you could probably look at that angle as well. Start pursuing that. Do a black and white versus like a pink and black. That way for the families, his and hers, you got the black and white and the pink and black right next to each other.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, at this point, most of what you're going to need to do is just reach out to try to make those connections, and then just hammer advertising mostly, dude. Because it sounds like you've actually put a lot of thought into what you're doing, which most people don't do. And even people who do put a lot of thought into it are susceptible to just swan diving right in. I know because I've done this before. I've swan dove in myself on a few businesses, and normally it doesn't work out. Like, you think it's going to go somewhere, and then it doesn't. But just the fact alone that you started with R&D and then worked your way into where you're at now is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I knew that I wanted to have a fail-proof start to this.
Right.
I told my wife when
hard to do on its own already.
Right. Well,
yeah.
I told her that if I'm going to do this, I don't want it to ever turn into a situation that, if something happens, it's going to create a worse, picture for our family. So say it does fail, go bankrupt, or, I don't want it to ever have to roll over to the family with it. So if the business fails right now for me at this point, I have a lifetime supply of shaving soap. And every one of my family members can be guaranteed that they're getting shaving soap for every birthday and holiday for the rest of their lives. But I don't owe anybody a single penny at this point.
Meaning you don't have any debt in the company.
Correct.
Okay.
So I wanted to start it that way. So, I took a little bit of I took $1,000 from savings to go through R&D and the initial start with it. And then all of the revenue that I've brought in since has just been rolled over. I bootstrapped it up to this point. So.
Looks like your website's on Shopify as well, yeah?
Yep.
Looks like you have the venture theme.
It is, yeah.
I like the venture theme. I use that free. One on, well, not only is it free, I actually use that on my jiu-jitsu company when I had it. So it's simple, quick down and dirty. So it looks like you're also partnering with a company called GI Resupply.
Yeah.
What's that about?
I was hoping initially, and I approached this with, being able to sell them at a great discount, the cans.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like they're in the financial ability to do that quite yet. So what I wanted to do was have this set up where if somebody wanted to send a shaving kit to a loved one overseas, they would purchase it through me. I would get it over to GI Resupply, and then they could get that sent out to their loved one overseas.
Okay. So is that a molly pack on there?
No, it's more of an old school ammo pouch.
Like a World War II kind of pouch?
Yeah, similar. Inspired by, yeah.
Okay.
So definitely nothing that you're going to want to use.
Yeah, that's what I was, because I seen it. I'm like, okay, well, you can attach it to like your flak and whatnot, but you really can't
want to do that.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we know some people who would want to do that.
Everybody had an Inspector Gadget in their unit.
Yes, that is true. How much of your product? It looks like all of your product here is actually all branded for your company. Is that correct? Well,
the shaving soaps, absolutely.
Okay.
There's still quite a bit of partnerships and drop shipping that I've got going on.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I'm at about 50% of things that are either branded, or I'm doing print on demand type services, or other type of drop shipping services.
Okay. You said print on demand, so that's a T-shirt there.
Yep.
Okay.
T-shirt, and then I think I've got
mug and towel and stuff. Yeah. Yep. Cool. So, dude, the reality of getting to you to where you want to be by the end of the year is just a matter of strategic advertising and posting and just pushing the same channels you've been pushing. Because honestly, dude, it's hard as shit to find the success that you've already found. So if you're already selling 200, I'll say 100 a week, that's fucking crazy. Yeah. It really is. With all the other crap going on in the world too, it's really hard to gauge what your company's going to do in 6 months when the world starts back up again. Right? Or ends. Well, if it ends, it ends, fuck. But I mean, once people start getting out of the house again, they're going to spend less time on the internet. And you want to make sure that you're cultivating that audience while you got them now. So what type of, are you doing any type of email marketing at all?
I've been doing my best to build up my email list, because I started with zero. I had not a single email contact with it. So yeah, I'm doing it to a very minimum right now. Email every other week. Maybe I'll be getting it to about once a week. But I'm also not really at the point where I'm offering many of any discounts. So the draw in through a lot of these email marketings that I've seen has been, you send them a promotion or a discount.
Right. Well, I mean, right out the gate, dude, you're talking about possibly starting a box, right?
Yeah.
A subscription box. So, I mean,
letting them know.
How many people are on your list?
150. Okay.
So just create, how are you capturing their email addresses, or through what email system?
Whatever is built into Shopify, just their newsletter sign up thing on the bottom of the page.
Okay. So what you could do is you could build a page on your website that's all about the subscription box, right? And you could talk about it, and you could say, hey, here's what I'm looking at doing. This is what I'm looking at putting in the box. I'm trying to come up with some more ideas, but is this something that you'd be interested in, right? And then from there, send out that link to your audience. Like, hey guys, we're trying to get some feedback on a new product coming down the pipeline. What do you guys think? Blah, blah, blah. And the whole premise of that is to not only let them know about it, but to let them know that you're moving up to the next stage of things, but also to get their feedback. Because if you can get an idea from them and then you implement it, that lets them know that you heard them. It's even more powerful if you tag them in a post on social media. Hey, Silent Bob recommended that we do this, and we just loved his idea. So we're going to do that in our subscription box. Boom. What? They know my name? They heard my idea? They implemented it? Dude, that's going to create a lifetime customer right there. Just that one thing. So there's so much stuff that you could do within the email marketing realm that is going to be insanely powerful. So I would recommend that you look on like Udemy. Have you heard of this? Udemy? It's UD Uniform Delta Echo Mike Yankee.com. So udemy.com. It's a digital learning platform. So I would look for like a copywriting type of course. And the whole premise behind that is to learn how to write better, right? You want to look for something on actually writing emails. There's lots of services out there that you could hire people to write emails for. And a lot of them are going to do great things, but learning how to write copy is one of the most powerful things you will ever learn. It really is. So if you can learn that now, 90 days in 2 years, you're going to be a fucking gangster at it, no matter what. So that's something that you should be learning.
I mean, let me ask you though, do you think it would be, personal development and growth is always important.
Yes.
But as far as time management and usage, is that what would be the best use of my time? Or do I look at,
No, it's not.
Okay.
Realistically, if you can afford hiring somebody to manage all this shit for you, that's what I would do. Because then you can focus your efforts on the vision, the production, the growth.
All right. And there were some of these things where I'm at that tipping point, like I said, where do I hire somebody to do this and just, delegate it?
Okay.
Or do I, because the website's good, but you knew right away it's using, the stock theme from Shopify, and it's got
I'm also a developer.
Well, there we go.
That's the difference. But yeah.
But if I could actually get somebody to go through there and professionally develop it and make sure that they're getting everything on point, because not to toot my own horn, I think I did a pretty good job setting up the website.
It's pretty good. So because I do this for a living, I can tell that you made it. Mm-hmm. A lot of people might not notice, right? So to the untrained eye and to the average person, they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, this is amazing," right? But you can't fool me. I'm a gingerbread man, right? So, but yeah, dude. If you've got the capital to invest, because if you have the money to invest in stuff like that, I would suggest that you do that. And the reason for that is because when you do bring in a professional, that does free up more time. Mm-hmm. Right out the gate, I would be looking at some type of marketing agency that can handle, product launches, social media, email marketing, and ads. Those 4 areas is what you would want to look at, because with you trying to build the subscription box, you're definitely going to need someone to bring in that product launch arena. But all together, that's going to be a nasty, disastrous combination of you blowing up the world for shaving. So, yeah, dude. If you're selling $15 a thing of soap, 200 or 100 soaps a week, it's $1,500 a week. Times 4, carry the 6,000 a year, right? Minus or 6,000 a month, minus any development costs, production costs. So I anticipate that's maybe 10% or less. So you still kick off around 5K. So if you could invest 5K into that each month, you're almost guaranteed to triple that or more, because that's the level of dedication it's going to take for someone to move you to that next level. But you could also start doing that in pieces, right? You don't have to jump to max it out right now. That's why at the beginning of this, when we started talking about ads, That's why I was saying I can link you up with Justin after this, because that dude's a wizard when it comes to advertising. So I mean, if a guy like that can run you an ad, you know, within the next month and quadruple your sales, then like that could never be a bad decision, you know. And then you planning to launch for Amazon, you could definitely use some email marketing to reach out to your current client base, and then let them know, hey, this is coming down the pipe. We're gonna hit Amazon, but pretty much, dude, everything that you're doing, you want to put it out there, right? Maybe run a contest. Who has the best, soap picture? Create a hashtag for people to use. Something simple like that. Like, hey, when you're launching your when you launch your soap subscription package, you could say, hey, the best picture out there, well, you'll get a free subscription for the first year. That's fucking insanely stupid. Right now you could tell people, hey, if you use this hashtag on a post, we'll send you you'll get a 10% discount, something like that. Like, how hard is it for them to post something with a specific hashtag? It's not. It's free, and they're doing all of the work to put your product out there. Just different strategies like that are crazy powerful, and there's hundreds of those options out
there. Love it.
Yeah, dude. Is that the missus? I can see a shadow.
No, that's my shadow.
Oh, okay. What's going on in your head, dude?
That's it. I think my head is pretty much tapped. I get to Wednesday, Thursday, and I'm ready for the weekend. But no, one second.
All right. So for anyone who's been paying attention out there in Facebook land, Travis has a soap company where he manufactures the soap product to put on your face before you shave, and then bring that full circle with an old school razor. So with a little bit of R&D and a little bit of dedication, he's been able to do some pretty awesome shit with it. So definitely excited to have him here today. What were you saying earlier there, Travis?
I lost my mind already. I don't know.
Fuck it, man.
No, I mean,
what it is.
It's constant. It's constant learning. It's been a shitload of trial and error with it.
Yeah.
And then I think a little bit of skin hardening with it too. I mean.
Yeah, but you should already be there.
What's that?
You should already have that.
It's a different I think level with it. I mean, you could say whatever the hell you want to me, and I don't care. I mean, I've been called everything under the sun.
Right, but then someone goes like, this? I'm like, fuck with your mind.
That's funny that you said that. A part of my email thing is I do have like a recapture system. So if there was like an abandoned checkout, it sends them an automatic email.
Right.
And I had somebody message me back, and they're like, I'm not spending $15 for this effing soap. I'm like, I took it personal. It's just like nobody had ever told. I don't know. But
see, I'll tell you what the problem is with that. Are you ready for this? Because that's the easy fix. That's because that person did not understand the value behind your product. Yeah. Right. And so that's why you're going to have to get out there. You're going to have to educate people on how much fucking work and money you put into the development of this, and let them know exactly what it's for. I would even start doing daily videos. You said you shave daily?
I shave about every other day right now.
Dude, do a Facebook Live when you shave every day.
Yeah, I just did it. I think I did it just earlier this week.
Every day that you shave, have like a morning conversation with the world while you're shaving using your product.
Now let me ask you something here, and I've got mixed things. I've got my personal profile on Facebook. My personal profile, I don't care. I mix my politics in with it. It is me as a, there's nothing facetious. It's of full face value when you look at my Facebook profile.
Right.
I have my business page, which is just 100% business.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go Facebook Live on the business page and then share it to your personal profile? Or do you go Facebook Live on your personal profile and share it with business? Because either way, it seems like.
So I prefer to start with the business page. The reason for that is twofold. The first one is I'm operating as my business, and the second one is all of the gangster shit with Facebook comes with it. When you operate off of your personal page, your personal profile, and you try to share it or tag your business page, that doesn't do as much good in terms of Facebook analytics and advertising and your marketing as a whole. It doesn't do as good as if you did it from your page. The difference, though, is if you're using your personal profile, your chances of scaling up your audience are easier than if you use your business page. But at the same time, dude, you've got 150 customers. You should have 150 likes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you're pacing regularly, and if you're basically, you're gonna have, I don't know if you've done this yet, but you want to take, a shit ton of content and just throw it at Facebook. Post like 5-10 times a day for a week and see when people are online. See when people are engaging with your content. And at those times, that's when you want to put out the best posts that you have, right? Still do that morning daily shave thing. That's going to be fucking gold for you. But the rest of the day, try to target those times when people are online. And Facebook's going to tell you exactly when those times are if you're using a page, right? If you're not, then you're not going to get all of that data, all of that analytics, all of that ad targeting capability. That you still have ads and you can still target, but it's even more powerful when you're running everything from your page. So it depends on, I know people who use their personal profile and they do well. But at some point, you're still going to have to shift those people into your business page. And since you're running an e-commerce company, basically, doing that from your page is probably smarter, because every time that you're going to want to run ads, you're going to want to do it from your page. So then do all the posting from your page. You can share it to 1,000 different places all day, but I would start from the page, because that's going to make it easier on you long term.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I had done like a live video from my personal account, just saying, hey, this is what I've been up to, and it had more engagement than I could have imagined. Shitloads of shares, and
yeah, man.
And then I do the live video off of the Facebook page, and it's like a fifth of the engagement with it. And
right.
So I was just like, on one end, I'm like, maybe it's just Facebook, algorithm, being a bitch about it. But then,
no, the difference is that people have to like your page to see your video. But if you're friends with somebody on Facebook, that's going to show up in their feed. That's right. What we're looking at. And that's why it's harder to grow a page than it is to grow a personal brand. But if you're actually connecting with your audience through email, post-purchase, if you're connecting with them, they're like, hey, we got this Facebook group, why don't you like the page to stay connected, get the news, blah, 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 right? And then you're doing that social post where you're convincing them to, basically use your hashtag and tag you and stuff and post to show off their sexy shaving bodies or some shit like that. I don't know. You could go crazy with it, but as long as you're getting those people to connect with you and take some type of action, all of that's called engagement. But as long as you get people to engage with you, doing it from your Facebook business page is fine. But you have to build up that clientele there before it's going to work. Whereas with your personal profile, anyone who's a friend of yours can see that video right away.
But with that though, since my personal account is directly tied to the business account, I mean, it's the same email login, etc. When I share it to my personal page, it doesn't get, filtered out. It doesn't do you got to boost it so everybody else can see it type of a restriction on it, or because, I look at
about
things.
Your personal profile?
Yeah.
Right. That's because everyone who's a friend of yours can see the video. But
well,
also,
that's the thing is, I mean, and I have had, pretty much daily, if not every other day, engagement on personal profile.
Right.
And I'm still getting to this day people that are messaging me like, dude, you started a company. When did that happen? And
right.
these are like the people that I wanted to target right away. Mm-hmm. And I thought we were probably going to be seeing it. And then, 3 months later, they still hadn't even heard about it. And this was under my personal page. So it's just like, it made me wonder, I'm like, why, how does that happen? But then have
you been doing lives, Facebook lives and posts from your personal page all the time? Or are you
not live, just regular posts. Okay. No, from my personal page.
Well, that's the thing is videos and Facebook Live gets the algorithm behind that puts a priority on them.
Okay.
Right. So if you're just posting something out there, do you know how much crap happens on Facebook in a day? Right? How many times do you post? Times that by 600 million people, right? And then tie in all the advertising, all the posts from pages that you like, all of that shit. So just throwing up a single post with just text is easy to get lost. That's where images and videos make everything better. But what you're talking about here is that, people that are engaging with your videos, and now they're starting to reach out to you and stuff. And doing that type of stuff from your personal page, your personal profile, there's nothing wrong with doing that every now and then, but at some point you're going to have to make that transition to business, right? So I would probably put the primary bulk of it on your business page, right? So if you're for example, if you're doing that daily shave, or if you're shaving every day, or if you're even trying to get other people to share their daily shaves, I don't know, dude, maybe you do a daily Zoom call at like 7 a.m. where everyone's just chatting while they shave. That I've never heard of that. Like how popular would that be?
Right.
Who knows? Like the possibilities are endless. It just requires some creativity and consistency. But yeah, dude,
when I do my first dual live shave call, it's gonna be you on the my co-host with it, right?
If I'm awake, I'll be there, man. I don't have to shave to talk shit.
Oh no, I need you to shave though. That's the whole point of it. I'm trying to get you to shave at the same time.
Dude, this was shaved like 2 or 3 months ago. You should have seen it before, dude. It was like
the Yeti beard.
Yeah, dude, it was bad. I grew it out for over 2 years before I shaved.
Yeah, most pictures that I've got floating around of me are fully bearded, and I grow up. I would maybe even say even more majestical than yours.
It's hard to come by.
It'd be a good battle, but
no balls.
What's that?
You're gonna have to shift your entire business to be a beard company now, just to keep up.
Well, and that was the thing is like I launched this, and my wife has been happy about it because she hates the beard. And
really?
So it's just like, oh yeah.
So not from my angle, dude. I was in a doghouse for cutting mine off.
No,
massive. I mean, I never trimmed it. It was just.
But yeah, if I'm going to be running a shaving company, I think it would be probably a good idea to stay pretty well clean shaved.
True, but you could hire a spokesman.
Yeah.
it's contradictory if you're not shaving, or at least shaving some. I'm not going to lie there. It really is. You're stuck. You're fucking shaving every day for the rest of your life. But you don't have to be the person in front of the company, right?
No, well, right now I have to. I mean, I
course.
can eventually,
Of
I can
course.
eventually hire somebody much better looking than me to do that.
Of course.
But yeah,
of course.
for now. But yeah, no, I mean, I guess it'd be similar. Like, I'm not going to launch a fitness brand. You know, just not good representative of it. So, you know, if you got a full beard.
Arnold's
and you're running...
Yoga. What's up? Yeah.
Yeah, man, I can't even touch my toes at this point.
Yeah, we're not talking about that shit.
But no, it's a good chat. I know we were on here for 2 hours, but I think I'm tapped out, man.
Yeah, dude, no worries, man. What I'll do is I'll reach out to those people I think who can help you out. You know, on the franchise side, getting into the superstores, and then the advertising side. I'll see if I can link you up with those guys. And then from there, dude, you know, if you're on the same vector and you're expanding your content to the level at which we've kind of discussed, and you're running strategic advertising and shit like that, dude, you're going to do great. Really. There's no reason you can't take what you've done and double it within 6 months.
Right.
So, yeah, bro. Awesome. Well, so how can everyone find you guys on social media?
Social media, Facebook, it's at Caisson Shaving. On Instagram, it's Caisson_shaving.
Okay.
Website, Caisson-shaving.com.
Okay.
And
you have your links for social media on there, right?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. Because I definitely put the website URL out there, and then we can backfill the rest of those momentarily. Awesome. All right, dude. So I got to ask, what'd you think of the call?
I greatly undervalued social media, and it's like, and it's tough for me to say that because it's just like I've been whoring myself on social media for the last 3 months, and it's still nowhere close to where I need it to be. So it's like I'm looking even more with excited jubilation to the day that I can hire a social media manager and I can be done with it, because I think that's the nature of the beast right now, is that if your online presence isn't on point, you're not doing business.
Right.
So, you know, it's just how I have to do it. So, but yeah, no, I think that's my biggest takeaway for right now.
Well, I'm glad I can help you at least get somewhere, right? Forward progress is never easy, and sometimes it sucks, and sometimes you might get to take a day off, but at the end of all of it, you still got to move forward. You still got to learn more. You still got to plan for the future and strategize, and, you know, build up your fire teams and build up your squad, you know. So forward progress is key.
Absolutely.
Awesome, dude. Well, it's been a pretty phenomenal call. I've loved learning about the product, the soap that you have there. I'm really excited to see where you take it and what you can do with the guys I'm going to connect you with, because it seems like you can easily get somewhere big into distribution. So I'm definitely excited to see where you take it. All right. So everyone, this is Travis Arnold with Caisson Shaving, and Jared here with the Digital Battlefield. Until next time, guys, stay warm, stay safe, stay sane, and as always, rock on, rock hard. Later, guys.